Little Monsters was just added to Hulu. It actually got a limited theater release 3 days ago. So if you watched my video detailing everything coming out in October of 2019, you saw that I listed this movie as October 8th. And that is why I did not realize that they were going to hold it for 3 freaking days before they put it on Hulu. So they did. And at midnight, I just got off of my game and I was like, oh, sweet. It should be up. It was. I watched it and I really enjoyed it. It is way more comedy than horror, as I'm assuming anyone would guess, even just seeing the poster with Lupita Nyong'o's character just like with a ukulele, like, dancing in the freaking, with zombies in the background. So yeah, I would assume anyone who knows about this or knows literally anything about it would surmise that it was a comedy with some horror elements. Now, the film starts off with a guy that I'm not very familiar with as an actor. I know I saw him in like Alien Covenant, but that's really the only place where I can place him. But he plays this failing rock star, and him and his girlfriend just keep constantly going at each other. And that opening like 5-10 minutes is just him and his girlfriend hating each other, just screaming at each other. And it's actually pretty funny. And he ends up finally saying, that's it, I'm out. And he goes to stay with his sister. And his sister has a young kid. And the reason that him and his girlfriend are constantly fighting is because she wants kids and he does not. And so he goes over there and his sister has a kid, and he's extremely inappropriate around the kid, this and that. But when he meets the kid's teacher, played by Lupita Nyong'o, he of course immediately has a crush on her and wants to assist in any which way he can. He does so last minute because someone cancels. She needs someone to back up Lupita Nyong'o's character here, Mrs. Caroline, and he goes on a field trip with her. And while there, they are attacked by zombies and they have to protect the kids at all costs. And this is a very, very self-absorbed son of a bitch character, this guy. He cusses like a sailor in front of the kid. And I want to talk about that first. I mean, I don't care. You can cuss all you want. I do it on the channel. I cuss as much as anybody. This movie has a lot of profanity. Like, so much so that it feels a little much at times. It's like, wow, it's every other word at some times where you're like, is this the dialogue that they wrote? Because, damn, that's kind of almost amateurish in a way. Not that the whole movie's like that, but there's just segments where I was like, I get that you're trying to be edgy and R-rated, and trust me, fuck it, I cuss a lot, no doubt, but it was just like, all right, this is a little bit overuse of it. It's actually hurting the enjoyment of it because it just wasn't as funny as I think they were meaning it to be in the shocking way that they were presenting it. And it just kept kind of being like that for a little bit, but it passes at one point and then it's very sparsely used from there. We also got Josh Gad in here, who is responsible for a lot of that cursing in here, and most of his dialogue is that, but his character can be really funny. I mean, there are some really freaking funny scenes, or fucking, if this movie, there's some fucking fuck scenes that are fucking like that. I'm serious. It was like that. It was like, this motherfuckity fucker fuckity fuck. I was like, okay, come on, let's try something else, but yeah, anyway, so Josh Gad's character, he really did have some funny ass moments. He's very predictable. You kind of know where his character is going to go as soon as you see him, what he's going to do. Every single decision that he makes throughout, you're like, okay, I see this coming. But he did have some laugh out loud moments. And Lupita is just wonderful. I mean, she's just She really is a very talented actress. She's a very beautiful woman, and she's great in this movie. Um, I was very surprised that she wasn't in the first like 15 minutes of the film. I was like, oh my God, is she even like a main character? She does become a main character later on in the movie, but in the beginning, it's this failing rock star character's movie. And he is the main character, but then she becomes his counterpart once they go on the field trip together. Um, and just kind of the interactions with the kids. Now, when I had originally saw the promos for this, I had compared it to something like Cooties with Elijah Wood, thinking it was going to be because of the title and because it was zombies and because I knew she was a teacher and they were on a field trip. But that's basically all I had seen. Maybe watched like 5 seconds of the trailer or something. It was like, oh, this looks like it'll be fun. Screw it, cut it, go blind. And even going blind with a title and the premise, I had assumed that this was going to be zombie children like Cooties, and it is not. It is in a zombie outbreak, and they're trying to protect the kids. So that was a little bit surprising to me. Not all that disappointing. Now, as far as the horror elements go, there's not a lot. There are a couple moments of pretty decent gore and a kill or two here that are kind of like a little more extreme and almost jarring because of how tame the movie can be at times. The zombies themselves, they're the slow walking zombies, so for me, any kind of horror that they would bring to it really wouldn't be brought to them or brought to the movie for me personally, just because I find slow walking zombies not scary at all. Like I've always said that they would not spread worldwide. They just would not. They wouldn't even spread through an entire city before they were cut down. It's just they're not that all that intimidating to me. They're so slow, and there's so many moments in this movie where I get it's a comedy first and foremost, and you're not really supposed to take it fully seriously. But there are moments where they go out to, do something and they have to get around the zombies. And sometimes they'll, or one character or more or something, will have to, they'll run around them. But then they'll get, in a field where there's a bunch of them and there's wide open paths right, there's wide open paths left, but then they charge at them and start fighting. And it's like, why? They're slow. Run around them. You never have to fight a single one of them, ever. When you're in an open field with zombies, you're good. You're fine. You're trapped in a small room with no space to run and there's freaking 50 in front of you. Yes, then it would be scary. Absolutely. But in an open area, slow zombies are not scary. And there were so many moments in this movie where it's like, just go that way. But as I said, it's a comedy, so I'm not really sitting there judging it like it was something like The Walking Dead or, something I'm supposed to be taking, literal in the moment. I did really like the lead guy. I thought he was, he played that shithead character really well. The humor kind of reminded me something of like a Role Models, if you watch that movie, which I think is freaking hilarious. It's not that funny, but that's kind of the attempt they're going for. This really crude, arrogant, self-absorbed asshole who's cussing and saying whatever the hell he wants around children and putting them in all of these inappropriate situations, whether it be doing drugs or letting them play horrible video games, and I don't want to give away any other kinds of jokes in here, but yeah, I mean, we got that kind of humor going on here, and it does work. It just, unfortunately, doesn't work the whole film. And that's why I really liked it. I didn't love it. There were dragging scenes. There were things that were just a little over the top that felt forced. And the dialogue was just kind of repetitive and, uninspired. But all that being said, there was a lot of fun to be had here. Good performances, solid production value. The stuff with the kids is very sweet. I feel like this is going to annoy horror fans that don't like any kind of playfulness to their movies, or almost, because if you took out the cussing and maybe a couple of those kills, this would be borderline family friendly at points. just the way the kids are playing off, and how like they're trying to hush everyone up around the kids, and the kids are all just kind of living in this world like they think it's a game and all this. I don't want to. I don't know. I misspoke there by saying a family movie, because that's not exactly accurate. But I think if you watch the movie, you'll get what I'm saying. It is very tame, despite lots of profanity and maybe sexual content towards jokes and whatnot. But anyways, now I just sound like an asshole. Let me know what you think about this movie. It's freaking late. It's like 2 something in the morning, so maybe I lost a little train of thought there at the end. But yeah, let me know. I will look forward to seeing what everyone thinks of this one. Adios.